everybody. Welcome back, Wednesday night edition, as we're live and on the air Wednesday night with the head coach of the Christian Brothers Purple Wave, head coach Thomas McDaniel. How you doing tonight, Coach?
I'm great, Stork. You?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually doing great. Things are going great
Good.
for
That's
me.
good.
Yeah. So Friday night you bounced back 61 to nothing, and it brings you to 3-1. But you took on Hillcrest. Talk a little bit about the win, Coach.
We did what we were supposed to do. They're a team that we're supposed to handle, and their kids played hard, but we executed early. Got a lot of guys in the game, and gave some young guys some experience on a Friday night. So that's always a positive. But it's on to bigger things now.
Yeah, and when you have a week like this, and you come off of a week like you did with Brentwood Academy, what do you need to accomplish on a Friday night when you have a game like this? What do you need to do, Coach?
Well, we tried to work on some stuff that we needed to. I'm not sure how much of that we really got accomplished, but we're really banged up. We've had a lot of injuries, as I've told you before, but we got out of it unscathed, and we were able to work on a few things on both sides of the ball that we needed to work on. So, there's some positives to take away there. Obviously, the longer you do this, the more you learn to appreciate, regardless of whether it's good, bad, or ugly. A win is a win, and again, it was a great atmosphere for our kids and our student section. They had like a color rush theme, so even though the ball game wasn't great, our student section was outstanding, and that's all part of the experience here at Christian Brothers. Is we want everybody to feel part of the community through the Friday night environment. So that was great. And again, just coming out healthy and being able to continue moving forward, hopefully getting better leading into this very important game with Baylor.
Talk about how important it is with the Purple Wave to, like you said, let some of those other guys that normally don't get an opportunity, but when you give them the chance to get up underneath the lights on Friday night. It's important, Coach, because you're trying to develop depth, and you got to have depth, and those snaps are crucial to a young man trying to learn the game on a Friday night in the atmosphere, because you can't recreate it 4 days through the week.
No, and what stinks about it is there's this dilemma. I think you and I've talked about this before, but there's a great gap in. Not in the NFL, but there's a great gap in college football, and there's, probably even a greater gap than people realize in high school football. You wouldn't think so, because they're all, 15, 16, 17. But, in a case of like what happened Friday, we don't, when I say we, I don't want to score 61 points. I got no interest in trying to embarrass somebody else and moralize another group of young men. But you're also in this fine line where when you get to halftime and it's, whatever the score was at that time, 40-something to nothing, and they got we got a running clock, and we actually shortened the quarters to 8-minute quarters. You get this dilemma where, I would like for us to be able to play a full second half with our younger guys in hopes that we don't score anymore. I know that sounds contradictory, but in hopes that we don't score anymore, but that just so we can get reps. And especially with the running clock, when there's an injury or, there's some delay of games, there's some illegal procedures, whatever, and the clock doesn't stop. I looked up one time the other night, there was 5 minutes and 50 seconds in the third quarter, and the next thing you know, there's 4 minutes and 15 seconds, and there's not been a ball snap. So, there was a minute and a half almost that ran off the clock, and that's frustrating just because I want our kids to get reps. Now, again, I want our kids to have success, and we had a couple of young guys that scored that it was their first time scoring on a Friday night. That's important because they've done a great job for us with scout team, and they deserve to have success as well. But at the same time, I don't want to. I got no interest in trying to run up the score. against another group of guys. So it's complicated. There's not a great answer, but you try to get them the reps you can get them, and we're in a situation too where we have 90 kids on our team, and even when you try and there's 8-minute running quarters, it's hard to get everybody in the game. So there's always things that we can do better, but all in all, it was a good night for us this past Friday.
Well, all you're saying is respect the time, even though, like you said, you're not trying to score or you're not trying to beat the other team into the ground. You look at it, every possession is 0-0 or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, in order for you to get consistent series, if you throw me into a play, coach, and I know that sounds a little bit wild putting the stork man out there on the field, but I did play a little bit. But you throw me into a play and I get to huddle up one time and then you jerk my tail end out. What did I get from that? What did I get
Right.
from that?
Yeah.
It's hard to say, okay, you were on the field for a Friday night or you jump in on a
Yeah.
tackle or whatever. I mean, there is no way, or it's even the same in basketball. There's a timeout, and okay, we're going to check 5 guys in, and there's 30 seconds left in the ball game, and you check everybody in. I understand if it's a state tournament or there's something like that, and you're trying to get all the guys worked in. I understand all that, but you are so correct. You're not helping that kid anything at all. I mean, they had zero experience because they didn't get the blood rushed through them, or they're not rolling through it.
Right.
And hearing you coach them, it's not there. And I understand JV's for that, but at the same time, you're still
That's right.
you're looking to get some of those guys some quality playing time where you are instructing them to do what they need to do on a Friday night light setting.
Yeah, no doubt. And like I said, it's just the same thing. Our backup quarterback's a sophomore. At that point in the game when he goes in there, I don't really have any desire to throw the ball anymore, but he's got to be able to get some live reps and feel what it's like to throw, in front of, a home crowd. And so, it's an interesting dilemma. It's something that you always got to struggle through. I don't have great answers for it, but biggest thing for us Friday is we came out healthy. Nobody else got injured, thank goodness, and we can move forward.
Well, you saw some of the other scores in your level and everything, but you got a non-conference Friday night. It's another home game, but you catch Chaminade that's 0-3. Talk to us a little bit about Chaminade.
I don't know who the hell that is, Stork, but we played Baylor.
It said Chaminade on the. I swear to God, it said on Max Preps, but you played Baylor.
No, we got the
I
Baylor
did not
school
know.
out of Chattanooga.
I know who Baylor is, Coach. This is great.
Yeah,
this is great. I mean,
yeah, this is.
You wish you were playing Chaminade.
No, the Purple Passion may have Chaminade, but the Purple Wave have the Baylor school out of Chattanooga, and it's a non-league game. But when we redrew the regions this year, we did some crossover games just because a lot of us have difficulty scheduling 10 games.
Okay.
And we were fortunate enough to draw Baylor, which is good because maybe the most somebody that's I guess pseudo football aficionado as yourself. I say this. I don't say this lightly. I mean, I'm being sincere. Maybe one of the most talented offensive football high school teams that I've ever seen, if not the most talented. So, they are top to bottom across the board on offense, pretty remarkable, and they're really good on defense as well. So it's going to be quite the challenge for us this Friday night. I don't even know who Chaminade is, but I would bet my bottom dollar I'd rather play them than Baylor Friday.
I guarantee it. When you talk about that Baylor team, and you get down to it, Coach. Do they just throw it? They run it? They just look great on film when you start talking about the offensive weapons? Again,
going back to your experience with football and living the Smyrna era and knowing a lot of the history of BA and all that stuff, I am emphatically telling you that this is the most talented offensive football team that I've ever seen.
So,
And
so
uh,
they are
they,
worth the admission to watch them perform.
I mean, yeah, coach, we got to watch the run. We got to stop the run. We got to stop the pass. We got to stop the screens and the draws. We got to stop it all. And they got a whatever. They got a 6'5" tight end from Shalimar, Florida. They got a 6'4" tight end that's really a wide receiver that's committed to Ohio State from Canada. They've got a junior receiver that's 6'3", 205 that is, I believe, a 5-star that has pretty much every offer in the country. They got a senior receiver committed to Alabama, University of Alabama. They got a quarterback with Vanderbilt. Offensive line, they're probably average 6'4", 275. I mean, it's legit, and so it's weird looking at it and seeing guys from so many different areas and all the talent they have. But I mean, it looks like a college offense, and again, we got our hands full. I'm excited for our kids. I can tell you this, the work that we put in this weekend mimics the work that we put in every other weekend that we're going to prepare and plan to put ourselves in the best position to go out and compete hard and try to win the game. It's not like the David versus Goliath speech or the, Lou Holtz sandbagging. I don't do that. Like, this is the reality. They're super talented, and we'll have to play really, really well in order to have a chance to make it competitive.
Today, I mean, from what you've seen, are they the best? Are they the number one team in Tennessee from what you've seen so far?
I mean, they're really good, man. Like I said, they're solid on defense. I think I probably downplay them defensively just because of how talented they are on offense. They don't. If you're just a common fan and you're just watching the game, they're not like five wide spread tempo, everything up, going super fast and
Right.
throwing it all over the place every play. They're not wing T or they're not triple option. Like, there's nothing like I mean, it is a legitimate college, almost pro style offense. 12 personnel, 2 tight ends. They just can put you in so many different dilemmas because they have but they have 2 legitimate 6'3", 200-pound receivers.
Wow.
And so, if you want to try to double cover them and thin the box when they're 12 personnel and those 2 big tight ends, they're blocking with 7, 8 guys, and you've got a 6, 7 man box. Well, numbers don't work.
No.
And then if you try to fit the box with extra hats to try to stop the run, which their tailback is also from Canada, then those corners are 1-on-1. And so again, both of their receivers are I would compare them to Jacoby Stevens type body types. I mean, they are both big, physical SEC receivers
That are going to go get the ball. They're not going to wait for it to come to them. They're going to reach up like an eagle and grab it and snatch it out of the air with one hand. That's the type of receiver you're talking.
I'm talking about the type of yes. When I talk about Jacoby Stevens and I say he can jump and put his head through that, the tile in the ceiling in a classroom, I'm talking about that kind of guy. I'm talking about a guy that can touch the top of a backboard. And so, again, we've got to be smart about how we mix our calls. And I think Coach Crawford said it best after the Brentwood Academy game. We have to be able to fall back on our fundamentals. And when you get moments when, you're having to fight, scratch, claw to try to, make something happen, you still got to do your job, and you got to do it the way you're coached to do. I have to explain to our guys all the time, like, we don't make up these rules or these steps or assignments or hand placement or where do my feet go. We don't make this stuff out of thin air. Like, this is like there's certain things that you're supposed to do the way you're supposed to do them all the time. And when you get panicky or you feel like, hey, I got to do something else, then you're not falling back on what your fundamentals have taught you, and then usually that don't go well. So, again, the beauty of high school football, as you well know, is you've seen games where the better team just didn't have the grit or the determination or whatever on a particular night. They got beat. Uh, I've always been one to feel like we have a chance to be competitive. I know that we have enough guys on our roster that I feel like we're going to play hard. We're going to be scrapping, and we're going to give it our best effort. But yeah, I mean they're super talented, and again, as you well know, we've kind of talked about this before. They're doing nothing wrong. They're in our league. They're a boarding school. I think there's been an influx of more kids from out of the state, if you will. I mean, they have an outside linebacker from Hungary.
Wow.
I didn't even know where Hungary was until I looked it up the other day. So, I mean, they're not doing anything that's against the rules, but it's just I don't know how equal of a playing field it is. So it's an interesting dilemma. But again, I think we'll go give it our best effort, and I'm excited to watch our kids compete. You watch games where you think, well, this guy might play on TV on CBS on a Saturday afternoon or whatever. On you might see this guy on Sports Center one day. Like I knew Dylan Mitchell. I could give you countless guys just like you that I knew were going to be successful playing college athletics. But I'd be shocked if these two receivers aren't big-time college football players one day because they're both super talented. So, just to watch our kids compete, see if our plan can be implemented successfully and get a couple breaks here and there. It's one of those games where, you don't really need to be too stressed out because we got, I don't think we have many people that believe in us. So, and again, I'm getting long-winded here, but as you've seen the first couple of weeks of college football, I mean, you have the scenario where I can't even remember who Arkansas State got beat by. They got beat really, really bad by somebody a couple weeks ago, 73-0. Do you remember who it was, Stuart?
No,
who
I
Arkansas
don't.
State beat?
No,
Got
but
beat. All right, so Arkansas State got beat. Oh, by Oklahoma.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, Oklahoma beat Arkansas
Right.
State 73-0 or something like that. Okay. Arkansas State, I'm sure, works out all off season. They do mat drills. They do all the stuff everybody does, right? And then you go out on your first game and you get beat 73-0. That's tough for a group of guys, right? But then you have the Tennessee game last weekend with Austin Peay. Now, again, ultimately, Tennessee's way better than Austin Peay, and they got better people. They got more resources. They got all that stuff. But Austin Peay, hung in there with them for quite a while and, made it a game. UT Martin hung in there with Georgia for quite a while. And so, you never know what happens until it kicks off. We got some disadvantages, but it'll be exciting to see how our kids compete if we fight hard. I have no doubt we will.
Well, and you kind of said it, you kind of hate to see some of this stuff headed down this road of the
It is what it is.
the IMG of the world and all that, but it's here. It's going to become more common. It's just going to be who participates and who don't, or and regardless. I mean, I saw a phenomenal quarterback out of Antioch last Friday night, and I'm just like, how long will he be at Antioch? Well, then you learn his dad's one of the coaches at Antioch, so he's going to be there as long as the coach is there. But a lot of things can change. But talent and what you got to have to like take on those whether they've got stars or they don't have stars. They don't even have to have stars to be great football players. But when you see them on film,
That's right.
and you know that they are much more advanced in the football skill set for their age, or they've lifted more weights, or they focused a little bit, or whatever the case may be, it's like you said, they've got an 8 and you've got a 6. So you know what that means? You got to play 2/10 above your skill level the entire game in order to compete with this guy, and hope to goodness he don't go to a 10 somewhere during the game, because if he does, we're in trouble. But that's the reality.
Yeah, but again, at the end of the day, I'm about. I want to see what our guys do against somebody of this caliber, and we'll learn a lot. About the guys that are going to fight and want to stand toe to toe. And I know we have. I know right now I can write it down on a piece of paper. I know the guys that no matter what happens, they're going to stand in there and fight. And to me, that's why I got into coaching. That's why I love high school football. The purity of it is we have guys that want to be here, that are invested in our school and our community, and it's a high school football game. Let's don't make it more than what it is. So we're going to go have fun. I know our guys are going to compete hard. They're going to fight every play, and we'll give it our best effort.
Well, good luck against Baylor, and not Chaminade. But I hope you come away with a big win, and we will not have a coach's show next week. But I do appreciate you being on the Inside the Headset every week, Coach.
All right, brother. Good to see you.
All righty, see you. Bye.